What's going on, good folks? It's your boy Plastic Addict back at it again. This time with an overview. I wouldn't even really call this a review because some reviewers, they will transform the vehicle and show you how it works. To be quite honest with y'all, that's intimidating to me. I love Transformers, but I'm not quite at that level to go and follow the directions and make sure you transform it in the right way. I will definitely be stumbling over parts that should go here, it should go there. I need time to do that. Maybe if I keep working on my transformations off camera, whatever, what have you, I can do that. But I'm just basically here to give you an overview of this character, give you a brief synopsis of the character Blackout, and that's his name, Blackout. He's from Studio Series number 8. This Blackout is the very first one that I wanted to get from the Studio Series. And he happened to be the very first one I wanted to get because he's my favorite. So even though you know he's my favorite, I will not have a biased opinion about his articulation or how Hasbro designed him or engineered him, and also his partner Skorpa Knox. His partner Skorpa Knox is right here. Real quick, I'm gonna remove Blackout so you can see the backdrop that he comes with. Now this backdrop is from the movie Revenge of the Fallen. What you're seeing here is a scene from the movie Revenge of the Fallen, and this base that they're at is the name of the base is called Qatar. It is a military installation which is used to transport troops in and out of Qatar. I happened to be in Qatar for some time when I was in the United States Marine Corps. It's one of the nicer bases, and it's a pretty nice scenery if you like looking at sand and mountains. But anyway, getting on with the review of Blackout. You see the backdrop that he come with. I think Studio Series Hasbro did a nice job in partnership with Takara Tomy in designing and giving us our money's worth when it comes with the robot, Blackout, and also Skorpa Knox. So to go over Skorpa Knox real quick, I guess you can call him his accessory. You see how easy that that it is for his I wouldn't say stinger, his stingers in the back, his claws to come out. So, but they do come right back in, very easy. They do articulate. You can move them back and forth. Both sides do move. His face looks like this. It looks pretty accurate to the actual movie of Skorpa Knox. What Skorpa Knox is and who he is attached to Blackout. He's Blackout's information guide and key. He does reconnaissance for Blackout. He gets information and brings it back to Blackout, so Blackout knows what's going on with what. And he also, I believe, transport that also information to the rest of the Decepticons. So Skorpa Knox can bury his whole body under soft surfaces like sand and things of that nature. So he's really good at scouting out and doing what he needs to do to help the Decepticons try and get their mission complete. Now the Decepticons are definitely bad guys, so they don't actually win. Shame. But so for articulation, like I said, he does articulate his claws in the front, move in and out right here. To me, I think this part right here should be able to articulate. It looks like it can, but it can't. You can't bring that nowhere. The head also cannot articulate. You can't move that head up or down. The tail can articulate in 2 spots, one right here, one right here. So you can get a bend right here, and then you can also get a bend right here in his tail. So I think that's pretty dope. But that's all you're getting out of his partner, Skorpa Knox. Now for Blackout. Blackout is a CH-53. He better known as, well, he's better known as CH-53, but he's also known as a Super Stallion and a Sikorsky. He is a transporting vehicle in the United States Marine Corps and also the Navy. Those are the only 2 branches of service where you're going to find this type of helicopter. And this right here, just to go over some of the specs, this right here does articulate. Now, a lot of people probably want to think this is a gun. I'm here to tell you this is not a gun. This is his refueling probe. When you're doing hot refueling, this refueling probe can come out, and instead of the helicopter being able to land, there's another helicopter that you meet in the air, and you stick that probe right there on the B side of the other helicopter, and you can actually, this CH-53 can get fuel while it is in the air. So that's allowing for the mission to continue, and for you to not have to touch the ground to stop and do a cold refuel. So it's very helpful, but just a little information on what that is. I know a lot of people are going to want to put this out and go, pew, 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 that's a gun. No, it's not. You're wrong. It's not a gun. Okay, anyway, going over the articulation for Blackout. By the way, this is his back tail propeller that can be attached to his arm right there. So this is the back tail piece or back propeller. And you have a tab in port right there. And you just simply tab it right here on his right hand, or you can tab it in on his left hand. It's really up to you where you want to tab it into. Now, articulation purposes, his leg can come out this far, and it can come forward this far, and that's it. That's all you're getting. His knee, it is at a bend, and because of this propeller in the back, when you move that out the way, you can bend it up about that far there. Also, he does have, I guess you can call it toe point forward with the makeshift ankle, so it can bend it in. Also, you need that for the transformation. As far as rotating left and right, you cannot do that, but it can go from side to side, so he does have that ankle pivot right there. Same thing for the other side. His leg does and can kick out this far here, and you can hear how it has that clicking. Also, now this can snap in. As you can see the tab. I untab it, and you heard it snap just right there. If you leave that tabbed in, you're going to limit your articulation for this figure here. So what I like to do, I like to untab it. Right, let's get that out the way. I like to untab it, and it feels like he has a butterfly joint almost. Well, not really butterfly in the front, but more so in the back, and it can swivel out to the side there. Also, he does not. His arm cannot move backwards from that joint, obviously, because that is a hinge, but it can move forward and backwards from this hinge here, right there. So if you're trying to get his arm up forward, you got to move from that hinge. Also, this is his makeshift hands, if you will, and that rotates up and down about this far. If you get his back kibble here out the way, you can rotate it. Oops, sorry. You can rotate it a little bit further, and this was the back kibble that I was talking about here. All right, so, and it's the same thing on the other side. It's pretty much symmetrical. So just going over that one side. All of this stuff has nothing to do with his actual functions. It's actually just his kibble for his transformation. And I definitely will come back and I will show you what he looks like when he's all transformed up and together. All right, so real quick, I don't want to move on without actually giving you a good detailed look of the figure and how he looks as far as head sculpt there. I like the way they did Blackout's eyes. Looks very menacing. Head does look to the right and or to the left. Now, as you know, forward and back is not that great because of all of the parts and components that is behind his head, also in front of him. Also, it did not show that his claws can open up here. If you move this up forward, you can get this bottom claw here. You gotta kind of put your finger up under there and then wedge it out a little bit. And you can get it to open up like that there. Same thing on the other side. He does not have a waist rotation at all. So that is unfortunate, but it's due to the transformation that has to take place right up in his waist. Now he does have a upper thigh swivel right here, and also the knee does bend there, and I believe I did show that. But that is Blackout, and to show how he looks also from the side view, it's like this. You can pose him, right? Put a foot forward, even though he has no waist turn. You get his knee bending in a certain position. Also, here, he can lean forward. You can get him in certain poses. The bend here. It's gonna look like this. Makeshift look like he's walking or what have you. You have his forward back like this, hand forward, foot. I mean, he has a very stable base because, as you can tell, his feet, I believe, are the sides of him. So it's a very stable base to have him on. The way it looks from this side is it's like this here. Obviously, this does hinge, open and close. So if you look at him from the back, it looks like he has like a cape because of his propellers here in the back. It looks almost cape-like, the way it drapes down, but that's what you get in as far as looking at that back there. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. I would have liked a little bit of more articulation up in the front. Maybe if the design could have been a little bit different, we could have got a little bit of waist articulation, because when your waist is stiff, it is going to hinder some poses that you want to do or get him in robot mode. But at the same time, they did a pretty decent job with the design of Blackout, the way he looked in the Revenge of the Fallen movie. This movie did come out in 2007, so it took us, about 11 years to get us a solid leader class Blackout. I think they did a pretty good job. It's not a very hefty figure. It's kind of light in comparison to a G1 or a Takar, for sure Takar Tomy, but that's because it has no steel parts or no metal parts on it. It's nothing but plastic, so it was kind of expected for me. I wasn't expecting metal parts, anything like that, to be on this figure. But here we go. Let's see what he looks. Transformed and all up into helicopter mode, his vehicle mode. Okay, one more. Skorpa Knox can be attached to Blackout's his back, like I said before, but it just wouldn't be right if I didn't show you how he was attached to Blackout's back. And this is how Skorpa Knox looks when he is attached to Blackout's back. So you do have a storage spot, and that is where you store Skorpa Knox, or some people refer to him as MBE-23. All right, here we go with Blackout fully transformed. Now this transformation was nothing fun. It took longer than expected, longer than I wanted. Me, myself, my copy, it's a lot of tabs and it's driving me crazy. It's a lot of tabs that's not tabbed in. I took it apart, tried to put it back together, just could not seem to get every single tab tabbed in. As you can see at the top part here, that's not tabbed in, and it doesn't stay in. It just wants to come out every time you try to tab it in. Now, this may just be me, the way I'm doing it, the way I'm transforming it, but at the same time, it wasn't fun. Do I like the design of the helicopter? Yes. I have to probably take my time again and see if I can really get these tabs to tab in, because that drives me nuts. Also have another tab right here down below that doesn't seem to want to tab in as well, right there. Same thing on the other side. Turn around, this right here. So I'm going to chalk it up to maybe it's something that I'm doing and not getting right, and not the actual mechanical design of Blackout as the helicopter and the engineering that went down to put this together. So, but at any rate, I do like the helicopter, even though it was a pain. I do like the figure. The propellers do not rotate as freely. They're a little stiff. So rotating freely is not something that you're going to get. It's a stiff rotation. But all in all, the back propeller is not, though. The back propeller is a free rotation there. Just the top propellers are not. Okay, so finally, Skorpa Knox, he can and has a storage place in the back. All you do is fold Skorpa Knox's hands in like this here. Hold on, let me get this situated. Have them touch together and bring this tail up to where his head is. Turn it over in the back. As you can tell, you have tabs here, here, and also a spot where he can rest there. And just simply, or do I have them the wrong way? Yep. And he tabs in just like this. There. And now it is the storage unit for Skorpa Knox. Well, this has been an overview of Blackout. Hope you enjoyed. Like I said, I don't do the transformations because that took longer than I wanted to, even trying to transform it off camera. But I hope I made your decision easy to get or not to get this Blackout. I would suggest that you look at other reviews and other transformers, other bot guys, so that you can see and maybe follow along step by step how they are doing it, and maybe I'm doing something wrong. But it's been your boy Plastic Addict. Collect what you love what you collect, and be patient with yourself and be patient with your hunts. And if you're patient enough, even an egg can and will grow legs. It's been your boy Plastic Addict with an overview of the Transformer Blackout. Have a good one, folks. See you later.